Okay. All right. All right. So our technical difficulties. Okay. Thank you for joining us here on June 17th edition of the Be Positive Show. Sorry we had a few technical difficulties, but we're here. And I am joined today by two funny guys that are in the ministry, but they are really funny. They've had me laughing, and everybody knows that I love to laugh. I have joining me here today is
Julius Sudds.
and of the Heavenly Mind family. And these guys are really amazing. They started out at Clark University, am I correct?
Yes.
And who's the founder? You,
I am.
You are.
Yes.
Okay. That'll be the
Yes,
guy.
that is me.
So, what made you in the fall of 2009 decide that I'm going to do a mime ministry in a black? And the reason why we talked about this, and the reason why I asked that is because when I left and I went out to college, which was a different era, I'm not going to say what year. When I had the freedom to be away from my parents' home, it's like I wasn't thinking about anything that had to do with church when I was in college. I was free. I was at the clubs. I was doing everything that college students were doing. First of all, what were your status as students? Were you freshmen, sophomores, juniors?
So at the time, knew I wanted to start it actually when I was a freshman.
Okay.
I had been miming for a few years when I was in high school, and I went to Clark, Atlanta, and I joined their church services called their chapel.
Okay.
And they didn't have a mime ministry there my freshman year, so I knew when I was a freshman I wanted to start it. But I was a freshman, and my first time out, like you said, first time I was away from my parents.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of scared. They wouldn't do it at first. So by the time my sophomore year came around, and there still was no mime ministry, that's when I decided to go ahead and take a leap of faith and go ahead and decide to get it started then.
So was that hard to do in a college where students are, okay, you are surrounded by, Clark Atlanta is surrounded by all black colleges. So I'm sure that they do a lot of partying. They do a lot of, God is like the least thing that they're thinking about at the time. Was it hard for you to draw them in to follow? Were you always called the Heavenly Mind, or did you have another name before that?
No, so when we first got started, it was me and my roommate at the time.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Damon Irving. We started, so he coined the term for us, actually Heavenly Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we first got called. And be honest with you, it wasn't difficult to get going at first because Clark Atlanta is such a diverse and unique culture. There's a group for everything out there. So if you want to be a skateboarder, if you want to be in drama, if you like IT, if you like tech, if you want to worship God, there's a group for you somewhere, and there's people that have your same interests at heart.
And that's pretty good. So how did you meet Mr. Silly Man here? How did you guys, were you in the same classes?
I just went to regular show. I did not like him when I met him at all.
Oh, wow.
Most people don't know is we started off as teammates, so we both played basketball at Clark Atlanta.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's how we initially met, but when it came to the mom ministry part, it was just, I mean, like I said, I already knew Julius from the basketball team, and I would go to chapel, and I would see him do it, and it grasped my attention, and it was something I felt like I could do, something I wanted to do. I wanted to build a better connection with God.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do something for him to spread his gospel.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like I was attached to it. Then we had a little conversation.
He's not telling the full story.
He's not. Well, you tell the full story.
So he would joke with me like, "Yeah, bro, I could do that, bro. I can
believe that because
So
when I met him, he was like a really joking person.
Yeah. So and I'm like, oh, cool. Like, you know what? Just come to practice once.
Mm-hmm.
For like about 2 months, he's like, nah, I'm gonna come one day. Caught him right after one time we had practice right after service. So I called him like, bro, just come real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So he came to the first practice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, bro, you might as well come to keep coming to practice. So we can know we was gearing up for. Back then we mimed every fourth Sunday at chapel at Clark Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So he was gearing up for a song. We was doing Incredible God at that time. And he went to every practice.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, he was like, bro, I'm just coming to practice. I just I'm just warm up to it. I don't really know if I want to do it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just coming to practice and fill it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what you think. But at the time, we had, it's a college experience and people, have their own lives, and we didn't force them to be there. So some people miss practice. So any person that missed, I made sure he filled in that role. So he learned a lot of different parts for that song.
Okay. So you thought you wasn't ready for the ministry, but you really was.
I was bamboozled.
He was heavily
there you
recruited
go.
in the right way.
So the way he worded it was like, yeah, just come to practice, see how you like it. I had never done it. So the type of person I am, I want to be good at something. So I wanted to at least,
So you
get
were
a
fearful.
feel. Yeah, I was definitely scared. And then all of a sudden, he was like, "Oh, you're ministering Sunday." What? I'm doing what?
So he kind of put you under the bus, right?
He
He just threw you out there.
He threw me out there.
He was at every practice.
But what
not
does
under
it
the
say?
bus.
Did it say you supposed to be ready at all times?
Yeah. I had to have the faith of a mustard seed. Cause I was
But you
out there.
did it, right?
And I did it, and it worked well. And what actually helped me that first time was we actually ministered twice. We did it once at the school. Then we had a church that was right by the school that we did it the second time, and that's where the video, my very first video of me ministering, comes from. But I can see me, and the greatest thing I can see is the growth, because I literally became obsessed with it afterwards. I would go to the library, and instead of doing homework, I would watch Mime videos.
Oh, wow. That was pretty good, though. That means that he caught you doing something that you liked, and he was there. It's just like a minister. We go to church so that we can get better at who we are. So he had to grab you at the right time, get you where you were supposed to be, and now you love it.
Definitely.
You are really good at it. So I didn't know that you were bamboozled.
Yeah,
into
definitely.
He was recruited.
Oh.
Because and what another thing I struggle with, most people don't know, is I felt like I was stuck in a phase of trying to be a cool kid. And we have friends that still to this day, they just make fun of it. Now, I don't think they do it maliciously, but they make fun of it like, oh, y'all finna go mime. So that kept me away from it for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I go mime, they're going to talk about me every day and stuff. And so it took me becoming comfortable with who I was and being comfortable with my faith to be like, okay, you know what? I don't care what you guys are going to say. I'm going to go out there and do it because this is what I want to do.
That's pretty good. I think you're ministering to somebody right now, because there are some people now that are probably struggling with some things that they want to do, but they're worried about what the naysayers are going to say. But at the end of the day, who we have to answer to is not them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud that you decided to take that leap of faith, do what you had to do to move forward in your ministry and what you do to help bring the people in. That's what I was wondering, about the kids gonna joke you guys about, okay, what are these guys doing? We at college, we at Clark University. Ain't nobody got time for no mining. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the points that I was thinking. I was like, okay, now how did that fare at Clark University when you said, I'm gonna be mining at school? How did your family and friends think what they think about it?
And I'm gonna speak on for him, because you can't really make fun of him, especially when it comes to this guy, because this is the jack of all trades. So yes, he mimes, but he also was on the basketball team. He also was the drum major. You know what I'm saying? So when you're involved in so many things, automatically when you're on a basketball team that was nationally ranked and you're a starter, how can you make fun of him? Because now you're still one of the leader on campus. Oh, I forgot to mention he's also a member of Omega Psi Phi.
Okay.
So you can't really make fun of him. So he's the one that gave me the confidence to do it, because there's nothing bad you can say about him. So let me follow in his footsteps.
And that's a good thing, and we want to follow good people, because following good people will produce good things. And when you're connected to people that do good things, that got good character, it makes you want to be better. It makes you want to follow somebody no matter what other people say. So what was y'all first experience mining? I mean, what was that like? What was it like for you?
The very first time?
The very first
I was
time.
Completely petrified.
Nervous.
Was he?
If anybody knows, you can go on YouTube, just type in the Heavenly Mind Family. If you'll see Incredible God. Yeah. It's the very first video. You can see me, I'm in the corner. And the whole time I'm looking to the side just to make sure I'm doing the right
So
moves.
did you put him in the corner?
It was his first time. I ain't gonna put him in the middle.
He hit me.
That's mean.
You
You
gotta
supposed
walk.
to put him in the front and just let him get up there and you wouldn't win. Oh,
The whole time I'm looking to the side like, is this the right move? Okay.
But with mining, you really can't really mess it up. If you practice, I mean, I wouldn't get up there and do it because I don't think I had the guts. But I think that if you practice the song a couple of times, and with mining, it's just that. You're mining to the words of the song. Am I correct or not?
It's possible for you to mess up, but it's very hard for the congregation to know you messed up. Like, you'll know yourself, like, I was supposed to do something else. The choreography was supposed to be different for that particular word, but it's very hard for the congregation to know you mess up unless you just stop and just freeze.
And stand in the corner like Deitrick did, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one time I landed on my head, and I was just so disappointed on myself. I was just
what
disappointed.
You was doing, trying to turn a
So
cartwheel
we had a certain move where you kind of lean down and you pop back up.
But you didn't pop back
My
up.
arm gave out a little bit. Nobody knew it but me. It wasn't until I pointed it out to Julius.
Oh my God!
I never knew.
He's not the only one that messed up. If you go to our YouTube page and look up syncing, and there's a part where I pretend I'm exiting off the stage, and I have on socks, and the auditorium which we ministered in at Clark Atlanta is very slippery, and there's a part I will fall. But unless you actually go and like look at it and look for that, you never notice.
So now are you still at Clark?
No, I finished Clark in undergrad 2011 and grad in 2012.
Okay, so do they still do mining at Clark? Now that you left Clark and you've moved on, do you go back to see, or do you try to filter in maybe some of that into still to stay there at the college, or do they still do that?
So when I first left, like we would go back, as needed. If it was like once a month, twice a month. So we kept the ministry really strong there. As time went on, and I had to move back to Texas for a year, the ministry kind of fell to the wayside a little bit. But that's one of my goals, to get it back going to where at one point I think the most we had was maybe like 17 people on stage at once.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So that's one of my goals, to get it back to that prominent level, which was once at.
So you're not from here. You're from Texas.
Correct.
Oh, are you from here? Born and raised.
Right.
No.
Before he said it.
This is always a tough question, because do I consider myself from Atlanta? Yes, but I wasn't born here. I was born in North Carolina, but I've been here since I can remember. So.
Okay.
Mechanicsville.
Mechanicsville. Okay. Look, here,
Oh, Lord. Lord. Hey,
brought him from a mighty long way.
So are there challenges to promoting Mime ministry? Do you have a lot of people that say, okay, we're going to be doing mining here at our church, and we want somebody to come out? Is that hard to get yourself out there? Are there a lot of mining? Do you meet a lot of people that minister in mining?
Well, when it comes to, I think, us doing it at churches, I think it varies. So like right now we have St. James United Methodist, which is a church that now we minister at least almost once a month. And like I said, when we first started it, when it was at Clark, we did it every fourth Sunday. I think the toughest part is getting into new churches, and most people don't know, but if we could ultimately get to what our goal is, like, so most people don't know that my ministry was started by K&K Mime, and they're amazing. Like, if you just go type them in YouTube, they're simply amazing. And our goal, they literally do that for a living. And if it was possible for us to get that big, that's what we would like to do. We would like to be able to quit our jobs and be able to just minister.
Travel ministry.
So it's hard getting to that level. You know what I'm saying? Do I think we have the talent, not trying to toot our own horns? Yes, I do. Because I think we put especially us two now, because we're probably like, we're the heart of the group now, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's kind of displaced everywhere. So it's tough for us to get our names out there as much as we want to.
Well, I watched on YouTube a couple of videos of you guys, and I noticed that on one of the videos there were 3 of you, and one of them looked as if she was a female. I think she was a female. So is she not part of your group, or was that something that you guys, she was a part, she's not a part?
We have a lot of different members of our group. It's just based on, we're adults now.
Okay.
People have to work. People go out of town for either vacation or, unfortunately, funerals sometimes. So whenever everybody's available, because it does take practice in order to put our best foot forward, in order to praise God the right way. So we want to make sure we do it the right way. So it takes practice, at least, even for the quickest ministries, at least 3 practices.
Okay.
So sometimes everybody's not able to do that. Anybody that is able in our ministry, they're welcome to come. Well,
I thank you guys for joining me, because I know that we all have schedules and everybody's usually busy doing their own thing. So I really want to thank you guys for joining me here on the Be Positive show. In a minute, we're going to show a clip of you guys mining, and you guys are also going to perform for us as we go out of the show on Today Live. But I want them just to see what you guys do as part of the family, as the Heavenly Mime family. So our producer is going to show that clip for us right now. All right, we had a technical difficulty, but we will be back with that video in just a minute. So while we're getting that together, we're going to talk about the 3 chapters, the Genesis chapter. What is that? What is that?
So right now we have 3 chapters: the Genesis, Exodus, and Leviticus chapter. The Genesis chapter is a traveling chapter. So if you have any church in the Metro Atlanta area or any event that you would like us to come minister to and Mime at, just DM us, email us, and that chapter will come and minister to you, minister for you.
So do you know those email address to each chapter offhand?
It's just one for all chapters. Just email us and we'll send the correct chapter to you. So the Genesis one is the one that travels to the different churches.
Okay, the next one is?
Exodus.
Okay.
Exodus is the one at Clark Atlanta.
Okay.
That's the one that we hope to get back going really soon.
Okay, and
Leviticus is the last one. Leviticus is the youth Mime ministry at St. James United Methodist Church in Alpharetta, Georgia. They usually minister about once a month or every other month. It's the Mime ministry there, and they're really, really good. They're really excited.
Is that the church you attend? Do you attend
No.
that church? No. So you just mind there?
Yeah, they reached out to us on YouTube. They were looking for something different to get their youth involved. They saw one of our YouTube videos and reached out to us. It was like, hey, can you come help us start a Mime ministry there for the youth? And that's what we did.
And I think that's very important that we get things that the youth are intrigued by. You know, they're intrigued by music. They're intrigued by all things that's, we just got to get them captured in order to get them back into the 4 walls. And it's really hard, and I think that my opinion is I think that we need to do things that they can relate to in order to get them back there. And do you think that mining is one of the things that can help pull the millenniums into the church? If we do it always have to be, it's crazy that mining always, you do something that's powerful. It's got a powerful. But what about doing something that's more upbeat? We always do something that my generation can relate to. But what about if we do something that's more geared to them, to make them say, man, that's something that I'm interested in. I might think about doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so Thursday, we actually have a youth ministry to do, and for there we do have upbeat songs. So one of the greatest people to do an upbeat song is Ty Trivet.
Okay.
So our singing is a very
My sister sings background for him.
okay. That's hello.
Hey, sister.
Hey.
So you singing with a great man. I just want to be his energy. I just want to be around his energy. I thought I had a lot of energy till I see him, but we definitely do upbeat songs. And then you have different type of people. Okay, so if it came to me and Julius, he's more precision. The way he moves is more precise. Me, I'm more boom. So that's why we fit each other well, though, because some part of the songs, if it's an energetic part of the song, it's gonna be me because I'm gonna jump around, and then that's why I'm gonna nearly pass out when we're done.
Okay.
So, but for syncing, if you ever have the chance to watch,
for some reason I don't believe that though, because
You don't think you gonna pass out?
No, when I met this guy, he had so much energy. We was like, would you sit down somewhere? We thought he was on stage then.
I just did that wedding the other day. I almost died. That was only 4 minutes.
Oh, so you mimed at the wedding?
I mimed at the wedding.
Oh wow! Did they record it?
It might be recorded somewhere. Okay, so I got in trouble.
He like
Told somebody when.
No, but mom.
He looked like he wanted to say, yeah.
Because my mom told me to make sure we recorded, and my dear friend Cortez was supposed to record it, but he only recorded 30
You hear
seconds.
that, Mother Hines? He ain't doing what you asked him to do.
Shame.
It was Cortez's fault, so I'm gonna blame it on him. You got his number.
Shame.
You guys are funny. And by the way, I wanted to tell you, I like your shirt.
Thank you. This is a God is Dope shirt. I might as well promote them. They're not gonna give me any money or anything, but God is Dope. They make a lot of God is Dope shirts that are very dope.
Yeah, I have one of those shirts in the black and white that says God is dope. Well, I'm gonna have to check them out because I like to thank God.
It's fancy.
How many times does that say thank you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And do you know, that's crazy. I just posted on my post a post about thanking God. And each day, I make it my business to thank him at least 7 times a day.
confirmation.
It is. It's confirmation. I mean, I just posted that a couple of days ago. I do that. And then you come here with that shirt that says "Thank God," and I don't even know what made me decide to count it, but it says it 7 times.
7 times.
How about that?
It's really that, when you go to the store and you buy something at the store and they give you the bag that says "Thank you." Mm-hmm. That's what this is.
Is it really?
That's what it is. Look at it. That's
oh,
what it is.
Wow. Okay, that's confirmation. Confirmation, right?
I can't prepare. That's why I put my Thank God shirt on.
Yeah, I felt your spirit. That's why I knew I was going to invite you guys on the show. So can you tell them your contact information, just in case there's somebody that's watching that decides that they want to do something, event or anything that has mining in it?
Yes.
Would you like to give that to them, or do you need this? You know about it.
Okay. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and IG at Heavenly Mime Fam, FAM at the end. Feel free to email us or DM us or add a comment on YouTube. However you want to reach out to us, we respond almost immediately. As long as not too far from the Metro Atlanta area, we'll come. Or if it's far and you want to pay for us to come out there, we'll come do that too.
Yeah, expensive.
No, but we do accept love offerings. We don't have no charge, but we do accept love offerings.
That's pretty good, because that's not putting a limit on what you can get. Because you could say, okay, I'm going to charge y'all $150. But what if you got some people in there that want to bless you, just one person want to bless you with $150? Mm-hmm. So I think that's pretty good not to put limitations on God. And some things you don't charge for.
Definitely
you know
don't
what I'm
charge.
saying?
It would make me feel awkward if we charge for it, because it's not about monetary. Mm-hmm. That's not what it's about. And I love doing this. So I wish we could do it more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. It's my passion. Like, outside of sports and other things that I do, like, this is something that I really care about. And I can't charge no people. People ask me all the time, like, how much for you? Free.
Yeah, I came up with this ingenious idea, but I never did push it or pursue it. I thought about having like a mine competition where you get different people that mine come together in a venue. You have judges, just like American Got Talent, just like what's that other show come on, American Idol or whatever, and you do it just with people that with mining, and then you give prizes or whatever. And it's something that I thought about, but I didn't.
You should do it. We competed in at least one, I can remember, maybe 2 mime competitions.
At least 2. I was in one, and I know y'all did one as the group.
Yeah.
We did the one where they cheated.
Well, maybe we'll
we
talk
got third.
about
We should have
that.
got second.
Oh, you sound like you was angry about
then,
it.
I was a little upset.
Then we got one where we got second, where we could have got first.
Which one was that?
The one where they told us we had a time limit.
And y'all went over the time.
There wasn't a
No,
time.
there
There was no
limit.
time
We
limit.
followed the time limit.
So we didn't do our full routine.
Because we was going to kill it.
But the crazy part about that competition is the girl who actually won that ended up joining. She went to Clark as well. She ended up joining the mime ministry at Clark too, and she's amazing.
So did she join y'all mime ministry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that was pretty good. Well, that was divine intervention. That means that she should have been where she was so that you guys could, because it's a lot of people at Clark. It's a lot of people around that area. So to draw people in, you got to be out there in order for them to see. And she was in the right place, and you guys were in the right place at the right time. So you and I talked about earlier about ministry in its hold, and mining is a ministry. I'm a minister in my own right. I sing in the choir, can't really sing, but I think I'm just there for the body.
Sing it anyhow. Sing it anyhow.
And I sing anyhow because I love praising God. And we talked about how people have it misconstrued about if you're a minister in your own right, how you have to be behind a pulpit. Yeah, and it's not necessarily, everybody have their own gifts, their own talents, and you guys mining is your own ministry. How do you feel about that?
Like I said, me personally, this was my way of, like I said, spreading the gospel. And I have so many people who say, yeah, in the future, I think you're going to be a pastor. But as of now, the way I see myself, knowing me, I don't see it. And I'm not going to say that's not my future. So
what you saying, you're not set up like that?
No, I'm just saying right now I can't see it. I know I got a lot to work on myself.
That's okay. You can get there. You're still young.
Yes. I had a substitute teacher tell me one time. He didn't know me from a can of paint. Mm-hmm. Brother, when you get older, you're going to be a pastor.
Well, you are a minister in your. Oh, he just didn't say what. He did prophesy. He didn't say what kind of
He left
minister.
out specifics.
Yeah, so as of now, behind the pulpit, I don't see it. Maybe later on in life, of
Yeah.
course. I got a lot of stories I can tell. You can go with a lot of sermons.
But we don't always need ministers behind the pulpit. We have to go out in the highways and the byways, colleges, streets. We have to pull people from different directions. If everybody wanted to be a pulpit ministry, then we would really be stuck, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
What you think?
I'd rather see a sermon than hear one any day.
Okay. All right.
He's about to go to theological school, so don't.
I thought about it.
You're not gonna do it anymore.
Why?
Look, I tried to put him on front street.
I know, right?
So why not, brother?
So did you seriously think about it as he being
Yeah,
silly
no,
right now?
I was seriously contemplating getting my master's of ministry, then my doctorate in ministry. But I feel like God has placed me where He needs me to be, and if He decides me to go take that path, then I'll listen to Him. But as far right now, He's just not telling me to do that anymore.
Okay. He's not telling you to do that anymore.
At least for right now.
Okay, so that book's not really closed.
No, it's not closed. It's
it
just
has
maybe
a
got a
period right
partition in it
behind
right now. He set it to the side. Maybe come back to it later.
Well, so do you have a church home here?
Yes, I attend Elizabeth Baptist.
Do you? And you?
Whoop, whoop, me too.
That was so
I'll be
silly.
real. I watch it online a lot more than I've been.
So you had bedside Baptist.
It's so far away from me. I'm way out in like Woodstock.
Look, he had bedside Baptist with the CO concern of Elizabeth Baptist
Because they
Church.
definitely got a Smyrna location.
I don't know those people in Smyrna. I like to be around.
Well, if you at bedside Baptist, you don't even know the people at his location either.
I know a lot
I
of
can't
them.
with you, Mr. Hines.
When I was closer, I went all the time.
Mhm.
I did.
That's no excuse.
I'm gonna start back going. I promise.
You hear him, Mom?
I'ma
Right. Call you Sunday morning to see
Your
you at church?
mom just graduated, didn't she?
Oh,
Woo, shout out to Mom.
Shout out
Yeah,
to
woo,
Mom.
woo.
I'm not gonna put all her business out there, tell her full story, but she's been through some things in life, and she did recently graduate 2 years ago from Winston-Salem State University for a bachelor's in psychology. She's now working on a master's.
Oh, wow. That's
Graduated
pretty
cum
good.
laude.
Oh,
Two degrees
wow.
Huh?
That's just a prime example that you're never too old to go back to learn.
No,
you
she's
know?
young.
Oh, she's young.
Mama, I think she's 29.
Oh, wow. How long
was
she been
29.
29?
At least.
Look, Ma, he telling you.
15 years. She been at least 15 years. I remember one time I used to wake up and ask, Mama, how old are you? 29. Mama, you was 29 last year. Son, I'm 20. Okay.
Still 29.
Oh, God, you guys are funny. So, with the 3 chapters, I know you said you have Genesis, Exodus, and Leviticus. Do you foresee in the near future any more chapters adding on to the?
Oh, we gotta get all the. I gotta get all the books in the Bible.
All the
Yeah.
books in the Bible.
Yeah.
So that's what I was leading up to. So you started out with those 3. So each chapter that you add, you're gonna just go with what's in the Bible and just. That's pretty amazing. So do you foresee you seeing any chapters anywhere else in the near future?
We kind of have a numbers chapter in the works a little bit. We're at the very beginning stages of that. But if anybody is watching and say, hey, our church needs a Mime ministry, we would love to have one. Please feel free to reach out. That's what I feel like I'm called to. I might not always be called like to actually be the one ministering and miming, but to start the church, get them on their way, and then I can say, hey, you guys got it now. You guys can take care of yourself. That's what I want to do.
And you know what? I wanted to say something when you say that you were fearful when he first tried to pull you into ministry. You know that ministry is like that with all aspects. It's not just with mining. It's with pulpit. It's with healing. It's with whatever your ministry is. It's always fearful to step out when God calls you to do something. Yep. And I just want to tell you that I'm proud that you decided to follow behind Julius and do what it is that you. How did you keep him from being silly? That's what I want to know.
He actually has 2 different sides to him.
Yeah, I know that.
Nobody would ever know, because we used to be roommates. People ask me all the time, bro, how you live with him? He he's not like that all the time. So he's very, very good at ministering through Mime, and he takes it very seriously. So when it's time to actually, sit down and rehearse and choreograph and practice, he's serious, and he's about his business. So that way he can be his best, so he can put God first. And so
I became the president. I went from being scared to I was the president. I was the president. After Julius left.
Who appointed him president?
It was by default.
I was the one.
No, he was the most. active and willing, and he was the most ready, and
Take it real serious too.
yeah, he was on point.
I think that was.
So
I
he
think
showed himself worthy.
Yes, by his actions.
Okay.
that's probably one of the hard. I think the hardest thing for us to do to keep it going on, especially while it's not at Clark. Okay, so what happened while the Clark one isn't going on? I was the president, and then when I couldn't be around as much, I couldn't choreograph it. So then there was a lapse in talent, not trying to speak bad on any family members, but it wasn't nobody who could choreograph new ministries. So that's always our hardest thing is when we can't be at a certain church or handle a certain chapter, it's like, who do we have that can take the reins? Because we got a lot of talented people, but we got some in Cali, we got some in Texas, you know, so we so spread out because we've seen a lot of talent come through the family. I mean, a lot of talent.
So I'm gonna ask you one more question, and after you answer this question, we're gonna let you guys go prepare to come back and mime for the viewers, and they're gonna watch a video just to show them what you guys do. But if somebody was interested in joining the Heavenly Mime family, what do they do? Do they reach out to you guys? Do they have to audition, or what is the steps or the process to joining?
So that is one of the big stigmas about people feel that, you know, when they join, the first thing I get is like, I don't know how to do it. And I tell people all the time, we don't either. Like, it's something like you learn as you go, and then we'll teach you. Like, your first, like when I recruited him, he didn't have to come up with anything on his own. Like, he was taught choreography. Like, we told him, hey, you know, for this word, you do this, and you're gonna move over here, you're gonna do this. So you don't have to know anything about anything to join.
That's just like getting the Holy Spirit. When you get it, you don't have to know how the Spirit moves you. You just got to move.
Just let it flow through you.
Yeah.
Now it's like I don't even need to practice.
Oh, see, there he go. Now, there he go.
As long as I know the song. If I know the song by heart.
And that's what I was saying earlier, that mining is, you know, something that I think everyone can do if they actually put their mind to mining. You know, you just got to feel the music, and you got to just speak body language to what the music is saying.
That is correct.
And that's basically what it is. So we're going to go ahead and take a break, and hopefully we can watch this video of you guys mining while you're preparing to come back to perform live.
You guys are in for a treat.
Right. Thank you.
You see, let me tell you, half of the things that pass for worship are not really worship in the church. Because if real worship hits the church, the musicians can't play, the ushers can't usher, the deacons can't be deacons. I mean, if real Holy Ghost worship hits the place, I'm not talking about that stuff you do because the camera's on you, but I'm talking about something that you do out of your belly, out of your heart, out of your spirit, because he brought you from a mighty long way, and you love him with all of your might. Let me explain the difference between praise and worship. Anybody can praise God. In fact, everybody ought to praise God. The Bible said, let everything that have breath praise the Lord. Anybody can praise him, because when you praise God, you start praising the Lord. I thank you for giving me my shoes. I thank you for giving me my suit. I thank you for how you gave me my job. I thank you for how you blessed me with this card. I thank you for how you brought me through college. And I thank you for how you're helping my career. All of that is praise. Praise thanks God for what he did. show you the difference between praise and worship. The praiser is thanking God for his shoes. The worshiper says, if I don't have no shoes, if I don't have no car, if I don't have any house, if I never get anything, I worship you for who you are. I worship you because you're God. You don't have to perform. You don't have to impress me. You don't have to play Santa Claus. But just because you're God, you mean so much to me. I'll tear up my face and cry. I'll mess up my makeup. And cry. I'll shake down my hair and cry. Oh, you're so valuable. Your presence is valuable. Your love is valuable. Your peace is valuable. I just want to be alone so I can walk.
I've got so much to thank God for. So many wonderful blessings and so many. Open doors of breakthrough. Mercy. New day. That's why I praise you. And for this, I give you praise.
live here. I introduce you guys to the Heavenly Mind family.
There is a sweet anointing in the sanctuary. There is a stillness in the atmosphere. Oh, come lay down the burdens you have carried, for in the sanctuary, God is here. There is a sweet anointing in the sanctuary. There is a stillness in the atmosphere. Oh, come lay down the burdens you have carried, for in the sanctuary, God is keeping your angels around about. want you, God. We need you to speak, God. Speak, Lord, speak. While you're here, we need to hear your voice. Speak, Lord, Lord. We need you to speak to us, Jesus. Yeah. Oh, speak to our minds, Lord. Hallelujah. Again, let this mind be in us, which was also in Christ Jesus. Oh, speak, Lord. We need you to rain down on us. Oh, we want to hear your voice, Jesus. We want to hear your voice, Jesus. Oh, speak to us, Jesus. Speak, Lord. Speak, Lord. Oh, speak to our hearts, Lord. Speak, Jesus. Oh, if you gotta move the program out of the way, Lord. Yeah, we want you to have your way. Yeah. Oh, speak to us, Jesus. Come on in. Yeah. Speak to our minds, Lord. Somebody's praying for you, Jesus. We need it. We need your voice to be heard. Yeah. Speak in our churches, Lord. Move the program out of the way. Yeah. Speak in our land. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, the direction, Lord. Yeah. Oh, speak to our minds. Yeah. Oh, speak to us, Jesus. Yeah. I'm not going nowhere until I hear your voice. Yeah. I'm not making another move until I hear your voice. Yeah. I'm not walking nowhere till I hear you. Speak to us, Jesus. Speak to us. Oh, Lord, we need to know which way to go. Yeah. Oh, we need a clear direction. Yes, Lord. Yeah. Wherever you have us to go,